What's up, dude? Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are all doing well. If you're watching this right when this premieres, that means it's 7 a.m. and I am very, very sorry that you have to be up this early. But I don't really have anything to preface this video with, so let's just jump right into today's case. On January 13th, Davian Irvin entered the Dallas Zoo in the early morning hours when the zoo was still closed. He intentionally cut a hole in the fence to the clouded snow leopard habitat, according to the arrest affidavit. He entered the snow leopard's habitat in an attempt to steal it. The leopard is valued at between $3,500 to $20,000, so it's not a cheap little house cat. Davian said that he had pet the leopard, but then it hopped up onto the top of his enclosure and therefore he wasn't able to catch it. So his goal was to steal this leopard, and keep in mind, it's not like a huge leopard, it's 25 pounds. So I mean, like, that's something that I could easily throw over my shoulder and like take home with me also. But keep in mind, it is still a wild animal. Davian left without the leopard and without doing anything to the hole in the fence. So because of that, the leopard was able to get out of his habitat, which ended up with an hours-long pursuit later that morning when the zoo officials realized that the animal was gone. Thankfully, however, they did find the leopard later that afternoon, still on zoo property, so it's not like he got out and was just roaming the streets of Dallas. About 2 weeks later, after the leopard incident, an unknown suspect cut the exterior fence to the Tamarin monkey exhibit and then entered through an unlocked door before cutting the cages to 2 monkeys and taking them, according to arrest affidavits. This happened on January 30th, and there was no video footage of the incident happening. In the days leading up to the theft of the monkeys, a person who matched Davian's description had been asking zoo personnel specific and obscured questions about how to take care of Tamarin monkeys as well as other animals. Trail cameras had caught that same individual going into non-public areas around the monkey habitat that day as well. According to the affidavits, there was another animal habitat near the leopard and monkey habitats that was also cut open. There were some unreported thefts from the zoo as early as January that, like, no one just really thought to mention them until animals finally started going missing. Some of the thefts from January were theft of feeder fish, water chemicals, and training supplies from a staff-only area at the otter exhibit. On January 31st, police received a tip from a man whose dad is a pastor of a church that owns a vacant house in Lancaster. The man said that Davian visited the house often, and the pastor provided consent for the police to search the premises. After the search, police found the 2 Tamarin monkeys as well as multiple cats and pigeons. At the time of the search, there were no other people in the house. However, the police were able to find a pair of Nike shoes that matched the shoes that were seen in the videos from the zoo. According to the detectives, the home was in extreme poor condition with dead animals, suspected cat feces, and mold and mildew growing. So, I mean, like, super gross and not a safe place for animals to be staying, much less a person. Lancaster is about 15 miles south of Dallas, so it's not like they're super far apart, so it's totally reasonable to think that Davian could have been the one to steal the animals and then take them to Lancaster. On February 2nd, Davian was seen at the Dallas World Aquarium and asked employees about the monkeys at their location, according to the affidavits. The employees recognized Davian from the photo that was released to the public, and authorities were contacted. The police were... that text from my phone just like totally threw me off for some reason. The police followed Davian into a commuter train and arrested him. He faces 1 count of burglary and 6 counts of animal cruelty, 3 for each monkey, which... Okay, I have thoughts about that, but I'll later. Davian told investigators that he'd wanted to take Nova, the snow leopard, but that before he was able to get her and like grab her, she had hopped up onto that upper part of her enclosure, and therefore he wasn't able to steal her, thankfully. He said that if he gets out of jail, he'll steal more animals again. He is currently being held at the Dallas County Jail on a $25,000 bond. Okay, so I think it's interesting that he's being arrested for animal cruelty when I'm not 1,000,000% sure how I feel about zoos. Like, I'm so torn because I love being able to see exotic animals that I probably won't be able to ever see in my life, like out in the wild. So I like being able to see these animals, but also I do kind of feel like it's cruel to take wild animals like that and just lock them up in cages and habitats that are definitely not big enough for them. Like, I'm definitely not a SeaWorld person at all. Like, I would never in a million years go to see the whale shows and stuff like that, you know, because I don't think that's right. I think that's really messed up, honestly. But there too, I'm kind of torn because I'm like, I would love to see a whale, but I want to see him in his own natural habitat, if that makes sense. So I don't know really how I feel about this. I think it's ironic that he's getting charged with animal cruelty, but then it's like, okay, but what about the zoo? Like, granted, the conditions that he had the animals in were far, 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 far worse than what the zoo does, but still, I don't know why. I think it's kind of hypocritical in a way. So I don't know. That's just me though. Be sure to leave your comments down below on how you guys feel about this whole case. Do you think that he deserves to get all these charges or not so much? Just kind of where are you guys sitting? Because I am very curious to hear what you guys have to say about this one. I think it's very different than a lot of the other crime stories that I do, but that's why I did it, because it's a little bit different. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you would like to, I'll be back here at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So be sure to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when I post a new video. For those of you that aren't subscribed, I definitely recommend that you do subscribe. If not, totally cool. I absolutely get it. But for those of you that will be back tomorrow, I will see you then. Bye, guys.